On today's show, Kathy and Jason talk about how public transportation is a safe place and why, and Executive Director for Sunset Empire Transportation District Jeff Hazen tells us what the district does to keep people safe while using transit.
Well, good morning, Jason. It's time for another transportation talk. Can you imagine?
Good morning, Kathy. Yeah, you know what? I can imagine. I can totally imagine what it's like in knowing that we're going to record, right? Knowing that we're going to get a chance again to talk about transportation and some of the things. I mean, really, we're talking shop, but I'm really excited about this one, even though it's going to be kind of a hard subject, but we're going to try to make it bite-sized, make it easy for people to understand. But I'm excited to be here with you and to be with everyone out there listening and watching, I hope. So it's good to see you, Kathy.
Yes, good to see you too. And I definitely look forward to this. And, it's always a pleasure to make time in my schedule to do another transportation talk.
Absolutely. That's exactly where, my day has been today it's really, hey, there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's time to do transportation talk. And I don't know exactly if people are going to be able to really follow where we're at today. So I hope we do the best job of trying to communicate to people today. But Kathy, is transportation in the public realm, so public transportation, do you think it's safe?
I do. I think public transportation is safe. And I'm not just talking about right here in Clatsop, Columbia, or Tillamook counties. I'm talking about in general. Public transportation in general is a safe space and a safe way to travel. And we should all try it more often.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, if there are some, people who might think or have a misunderstanding in whatever ways that public transportation is unsafe. Listen, we are talking about, we would not encourage individuals to hop on any form of transportation that would be unsafe, whether it's unsafe as far as the vehicles are concerned or the drivers driving them, or unsafe in other ways. We wouldn't do that. So looking at that, I still believe that public transportation is more and more relevant than it's really ever been, especially nowadays. But the level of training, the level of retraining and attention to detail that our drivers, I know, go through, and of course their standards at the national and state levels that do everything in those powers to ensure that drivers are safe, to ensure that the drivers keep their passengers safe, and that they understand everything that they need to do so that we can say that public transit is safe. So, I mean, that is where it's at for me, is just all the training and all the checklists that they have to go through in order to become drivers, especially here at SETD, makes things pretty safe.
Absolutely. And I would just say that, I recently saw on a social media post that somebody wanted to ride one of the forms of transportation, and they were disappointed that that form wasn't available this summer because of the driver shortage. But they didn't want to ride in the other kinds of vehicles because they had heard some stories about our transit system being sketchy. And I thought to myself, that's a little strange. And I wish that those people would reach out and actually ask to find out what the truth of the matter is. And I would say that is a big, important thing. Just don't believe, whatever random stories you hear out and about. Verify those things, because this technology really has provided an extra layer of safety on public transportation, because all of the public transportation buses in our region all have cameras on them. So anything that's going on those buses is visible and is able to be tracked and traced back.
Absolutely. And to those individuals out there that might have that feeling still, maybe perhaps, I agree with you, Kathy. They should just go ahead and give us a call. Schedule some time to meet with us, not only us, but we have operations managers. We even have an executive director. Bring some of those concerns out there so that at the very least we can We can show you, we can tell you, what, like, for example, our bus drivers, to become a bus driver here, you mentioned cameras and other pieces of technology that help keep them and passengers safe. Well, they have to go through multifaceted training courses and checklists and you name it, just to ensure that they know how to operate all those things, just to ensure that they know how to not only, operating the bus in general means to ensure that you know everything that there is to know about how that bus is to operate safely. And one of those things are cameras. One of those things are de-escalation procedures.